And by take us live, I mean crash OBS, apparently. Oh, no, I spoke too soon. We actually are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Mehvies, and today we have something that we haven't done in a while. It's something of a double feature. It is a combination of us viewing the Terminator Salvation Machinima series that was done in the game engine for Terminator Salvation, the video game, which I have not played, and then once we get done with that, we're going to move on and watch Terminator Salvation, the movie proper. Now, Bender, have you seen the Machinima series?
I have not.
I have not either. I vaguely knew that it existed, but I did not...
So did I.
Yeah, I did not watch it. I found... So, the way this was going is I was doing some research into Terminator for our little watch parties that we're having here, and I found... It was like, oh yeah, this is a thing that existed. I wonder if the DVD is you know, reasonably priced. Lo and behold, it was. Turns out it's absolute garbage quality, so we're not actually watching it today. We're actually watching the 1080p version that I downloaded from the Warner Brothers Beyond the Backlot YouTube channel.
Nice.
Which I'm 99% sure Warner Brothers has forgotten exists, because it still has the old Warner Premiere logo on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this down, and we'll go ahead and get started now. This is gonna be broken up episode by episode, because, that's how it was on the YouTube channel. And, yeah, for some reason they never released this show on Blu-ray, but, yeah. In 3, you're in the screen share, right?
Yes.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Now, in the DVD, it had baked-in subtitles, hard-coded into the video with some of the worst... it was like a gray outline on italicized white text. And the video encoding isn't that great here, but it is much better than it was on the DVD. The DVD had... It's like a 6 gigabyte DVD. Oh yeah, this is game engine footage here, because that was some jank animation there.
Yeah.
Now this was re-uploaded in HD in 2013, and this came out before the movie did, so this is 2008. So I'm not gonna bag on it too hard. This is actually fairly decently animated. Although I could give the Paul Greengrass shaky cam a miss. The Hunter Killers look like Ed 209s.
They do.
I feel like that might have been intentional.
Must have been.
Considering the popularity of the Terminator RoboCop crossovers, both in the video games and comics. Yeah, the DVD was kind of bit-starved. I don't know why, but they had 2 copies of each episode on the disc. It was 3 gigabytes for, It was 3 gigabytes for the movie, you know, the movie edit. And then it was, you know, additional copies of each episode, and then some behind-the-scenes stuff. It was like less than 6 gigabytes for the entire thing. Yeah. And here we see location scouting for The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm. Yep. John Connor's wife.
Yeah, this series is... I think it's set 2 years? If I remember correctly, it's set 2 years before Salvation.
Yes.
So,
there was also a comic tie-in that was also a prequel.
I have not read that. I believe I knew that it existed, but I don't have it.
Ironically, there was a Terminator video game tie-in that was also set up before the movie.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, that doesn't look like Bryce Dallas Howard to me.
No.
Is this like a different thing, or is that... because that's not her character? Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Beep. This comes from a very odd period of time, I suppose. Because
Yeah.
I don't think you'd get something like this made these days. It's all just
No.
shitty mobile games.
Yeah.
It's like there's some new Terminator game supposedly coming out. That's not that's not the new the PS4, PS5 one. Supposedly there's a new Terminator game coming out for mobile phones, I think. And yeah, it's like, and then there's new mobile games coming out for all kinds of shit. I just don't pay any attention to them anymore, no matter how good they are. Oh, would you look at that? It's a beefed up T800. That shouldn't exist.
No, that's actually a 600.
Oh, is that a 600? Oh, is that?
Yeah,
oh, that's one of the ones that had rubber skin, isn't it?
Yeah, because remember, the 6 and 700, the 600 was easy to identify because Kyle said that they were tall and very bulky.
Yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. Because I just saw the skull and I wasn't entirely sure how it was supposed to work. Because you know how video games are sometimes. They just...
Yeah.
When video games make a model out of something from a movie, it doesn't always match up with what's in the film.
Yeah, because the idea, a 600 is around 7 feet tall. A 700 is about 6'6". Is about 6'8", and an 800 is about your average human size, which is about 6'4", 6'5".
It depends on where you are, I guess, but yeah. Yeah, I guess the only thing that a T-600 would fit inside is Andre the Giant skeleton.
Yeah.
Have to go around calling everybody boss in a French accent. I mean, see this? Okay, that was weird. That's weird as a line delivery and weird as a concept there, because it's like if there was anything other than a remorseless killing machine on the other end of this thing, like if there was any negotiation to be had, sure, you could make that argument. But it's like, are you just like one of those smiling friends nihilists? If so, okay, against the wall. We don't need you here. That's... You're just playing sound effects in the background now. This isn't score. I'm not entirely sure how any of this connects. Like, you hear that, right? That sound?
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, that's the force field sound effect from Star Trek The Next Generation. Let's watch those lips sync.
It's weird how we haven't heard or had any reference to John.
Yeah. Oh, look at those ragdolls. This is like a fucking Gary's Mod video.
Not that I'm against Blair getting character development.
Yeah. Well, this isn't... Huh. Yeah. They're doing the... You remember that bit from Invincible about the animation? And it's like they're doing that. They're doing that thing where they're desperately attempting to not show dialogue being spoken ever.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just used the engine from the actual Terminator Salvation prequel video game from the consoles.
Well, yeah, excuse me, it is that engine. That is what they're doing. Oh,
okay.
This is all rendered in engine in the Salvation game.
Okay,
but
I thought it was rendered in a different video game engine. I didn't know it was actually using the Salvation engine.
Yeah, no. Moonblood, good. The thing that's bothering me, Metal Gear Solid 2 came out and it ran on the PS2. Yeah, Cam Clark, speaking of Metal Gear. Yeah, D. Bradley Baker.
It's ironic that they got Moon Bloodgood from the movie to voice Blair.
Yeah.
To voice Blair Connor. Oh, hi, Halcyon.
Blair Williams.
Yeah, Blair Williams.
Kate Connor is.
That's Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah, you're mixing up those two characters. Yeah.
I am mixing up those two characters, yeah.
Because I was trying to figure out what was going on. It's like, did I just fucking forget? And then I had to look it up. It was like, no, that's just incorrect.
Again, maybe that's just because I don't remember much of Blair. I've seen Terminator Salvation so many times, but I don't remember much of Blair.
Well, this is... Okay, guys, what the hell is going on here? What is wrong with my... Okay. Quit. Reopen. Full screen. Pause. Rewind. Full screen. And 3, 2, 1. There we go. Okay. Wow, that lighting has completely changed from the last episode.
Must be magic.
Yeah.
I just now saw the thumbnail for the Machinima series. Tell me, do you bleed? No. No.
No, I do not. I'm incapable of bleeding. All my flesh has been burned away. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 2. Metal Gear Solid 2 had excellent lip sync.
Mm-hmm.
And this show has lip sync that makes the Smash Bros. Brawl Codex look well lip synced.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Genesis, marketing, release. Oh, Timothy Zahn did a prequel novel.
The Salvation?
Yeah. It was
I
called
didn't know
From the
that.
Ashes. And then he
I
did...
was gonna say.
Yeah. And he did Trial by Fire, and Greg Cox did Cold War.
I was gonna say.
Oh, wait, no.
So...
Two further books were inspired by the film Cold War by Greg... By the film... Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it was a Cold War by Greg Cox and Trial by Fire by Zahn. And, yeah, so
I was gonna
two Timothy Zahn books, a J.
Nice.
Michael Straczynski comic...
I was gonna say yes. Okay, so the JMS, it's more of a, it's basically a 12-issue series, I believe. It's a 10 to 12-issue miniseries, and it's basically a wrap up on Terminator Salvation. So it's taking place immediately after 4, and it's essentially the final movie. And it was what they were going to do because this was supposed to be a trilogy.
Yeah,
and they brought JMS in to essentially tweak up their original script and turn it into a finale. And it came out right before Terminator Genesis.
Okay.
It's actually pretty good. I've heard. I would recommend.
Of the world's worst soldier.
I am He-Man, master of the universe.
Didn't he kick your ass and throw you off of Metal Gear? We don't
talk
about that. Shut the fuck up. What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
What?
The fuck?
Okay. This is why I hate shaky cam. You can't tell what the fuck is going on. Oh, well, would you look at that? Random gunshot sound effects. Kind of like in Terminator 3. I had a toy ray gun that made that sound once. I saw a bunch of people in the comments saying that this has a much better story than the Terminator Salvation video game, and if this is the case, you know, the Salvation video game must not be very good.
It was passable.
Yeah, because I'm only barely following this. Like, I'm not barely following this because we're riffing it. I'm trying to follow it, It's just, there's some weird shit going on. It's not all the story's fault. I think part of it's down to the shaky cam cinematography that's doing its best to replicate a Paul Greengrass film. Like I said.
Yeah, no.
There's a lot of otherwise decent stuff, and some stuff that was really good that is marred by that. And you can't just go back and hit the stabilize camera button on that stuff. That's stuck like that. Yeah. You know, I kind of feel like that plane looks like it's got moss growing on it. Kind of tells me that they reused another model. He's already explained that he wasn't doing that on purpose. I mean, this is kind of difficult. Skin is like rubber. Maybe you should try the fucking Voight-Kampff test on him, because if his skin is like rubber, he might be a Terminator. There is no system left to break down. That sounds... This is like 3 Deep 5 Me for the Terminator Salvation, for the Terminator series. What? Who wrote this? That doesn't make any sense. I've seen the fucking movie, Cam.
I don't think the writers of this did.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it was like, I can forgive you for not wanting to remember the events of Terminator 3, but they still fucking happened. I mean, hell, the first 2 films explained it. It was like Judgment Day happened because Skynet decided humanity needed to go, and thus it blew us up on 1997. All right, rejected Left 4 Dead NPC model. It's kind of interesting because Moon Bloodgood and Cam Clarke both have good voice direction, but they're very clearly not recording in the same studio, and they're not recording with the same voice director. So you've just got deliveries that don't match, you know? Almost makes me feel like they should have had the Machinima series follow 2 original characters rather than an original character and somebody from the movie. And then again, I guess they're trying to use it as promotional material for the movie, so... whatever. Ooh, that's a cool shot. How are there just random computers set up throughout here? Where'd that car come from? Oh, that is definitely out of RoboCop. Andy, did you watch the movies? I need to know. Okay. Okay, so now we're on episode 3, and rewind in 3, 2, 1. That is not the same sound effect you were using for that earlier, but okay.
Say again. I thought you were supposed to kill that son of a bitch.
Who the hell is that? That's John Connor. He does that sometimes. This is really good for, like, previs footage. Like, if they use this as previs footage for real stuff, this would actually be alright. I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm just saying it's obvious where they've cut corners. Like, I've seen fan-made Machinima series that were better than this, with better lip sync and whatnot. And this has all the hallmarks of, like, the pre-vids footage from Star Wars The Clone Wars, where the mouths either don't move or barely move. Now somebody's gonna have to clean that up. They're machines. Yeah. There's a Left 4 Dead 2 mod that replaces all of the zombies with T-800s. and all the special infected with various versions of Terminators. You can get this, I think the T-1000 is the Witch, and the tank is like a T-500, or like a, whatever the big green guys from T2-3D. Oh, that's a T-50, right. It's a neat little mod. You know what this kind of reminds me of? This kind of reminds me of
What?
the Canto Bight subplot in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Where there's just this nonsensical character who thinks that both sides are the same, and we're just going on this side plot. It's like... This is like if that was an entire movie, but we didn't actually have to pay any attention to it, you know? Rather than editing it into the film. How exactly would collaborators make sense? Because I think I said the same thing when I heard about the idea of like human Skynet collaboration in, I think it was in one of the comics? I don't remember. Excuse me. Okay, so this is really lame reasoning. This is like saying... It's like, oh, fireworks and the atomic bomb, those are the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Snake! Snake, what happened? Are you alright, Snake? Snake! What are you doing here? You're not allowed here. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Do it now. I know only the T-101 is Arnold, but I can't do a different voice for the Terminators. It just doesn't feel right.
Fair.
Ow, that was my brain. I will now have to get a job at Naughty Dog. I need to talk to John Connor, or perhaps one of the other people who's in charge, and not this stupid fucking message board system. It's ironic that the, what the fuck is going on here? What the hell is that frame rate? It's ironic that the Resistance decided to automate their, message system. I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to be gleaning from this. This is the machines, isn't it? Somehow this game has, somehow the rendering in this Machinima has better, shadow effects than Resident Evil 6, and Resident Evil 6 came out after this. Alright, and now we're on episode 5. 3, 2, 1. I think that's the same machine gun sound effect that they used. No, I don't. I'm not gonna say that, because I don't think it is. Never mind.
What's wrong, Liquid? You afraid to take the short bus?
Considered, discarded. He's of a unique perspective. He may in fact be stupid. I mean, you know who else is high priority to find for Skynet? John Connor, one of the most important members of your fucking organization. And Kyle Reese. And Kate Connor. I don't know what point you're trying to make, show. But this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Oh, human. It's got better pathfinding than your average Naughty Dog NPC.
Hmm.
There's just random spanch sound. Yeah, I was doing the Left Behind DLC for The Last of Us Part 1 last week. And there was one guy who he was just content to walk face first into a mall sign while the zombies were attacking. Like, I would walk... If it wasn't for the fact that, like, at some point the game figured out that he was supposed to be killing me, too. He was just trying to backpedal. It seemed like he was trying to backpedal away from the zombie invasion.
Hmm.
And like, when I would walk by, he would occasionally trigger. It was like, little girl detected, boot deployed. But, oh, there's the... You have not earned playing that soundtrack, guys. That's just a voice clip from the game, isn't it? With what? What? The miracle of childbirth and the... Okay. That's random. Medic! Doctor! How did you get in here? How did nobody notice that? Ragdoll physics activate. This command is about to get blown the fuck up. This is a radio! Yeah, you asked for comm gear. Or, I wanted a computer. Or, I thought it was all the same. Oh dear. Oh dear, I believe you done fucked up, son.
Yeah. Oh.
Alright, and now we're in for the last episode of the series. In 3, 2, 1.
I was gonna say, Alex, to set the mood, have you ever heard of the YouTuber known as Oliver Harper?
I don't believe so. Why?
Oh, he's a British retrospect YouTuber who has made documentaries on old films and gotten old crew members who used to work on those films. But he also does retrospectives on popular movies, and he
Okay.
did one on Salvation. He also is a trailer editor, and he made a great trailer for Salvation when he reviewed it, because he's reviewed all 4 of the Terminator movies and done
Oh, cool.
retrospect.
What was his video on Salvation like?
Well, basically, to make it short, he didn't. He was lukewarm to it when he first saw it back when it came out.
But over the time, he came to respect the movie, and he actually appreciates what McG was trying to do, and also respects that we finally were in the future. But and he also loved the
I was gonna say
yeah.
they fixed the black crush for the background, and then it popped back in when the episode number came up.
Yeah, that's weird. He also really loved the He loved elements of it, particularly the visuals, all of the miniatures that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
unfortunately not nominated for an Oscar. Um, yeah. So
Yeah.
his opinion on it was pretty good, and he encouraged a lot of people to go seek it out and give it a rewatch, as it's much better than what we would ultimately get. But he did have his complaints with it.
Yeah,
Primarily,
sounds about like what I'm gonna get into, or we're probably gonna get into later on, because that about sounds like what I had to say about it when I first saw it.
yeah. At least we're on the last episode.
Yeah, because this is
This is all just sort of blending together. Like, I'm sure this is supposed
this
to
is
develop.
difficult. Yeah.
I'm sure this is trying to develop Blair's character, but the problem is that you've already established that she's a main character in the film. So
Yeah.
I think what would have been better is if you had this on a character whose fate we wouldn't ultimately know of in the movie.
Mm-hmm. That guy looks like Coach's grandson or something. Like he's wearing the same purple shirt Coach does. I'm not just saying that because he's black, I'm saying that because he's wearing a purple shirt. What the fuck is up with the macro blocking? Actually, why is this entire video so goddamn dark?
I don't know.
Because every now and again, like, the macro blocking just takes over. This is the same way on the DVD, too. Because I did a little bit of scrub through on the DVD just to see. Because sometimes HD uploads on YouTube don't look that great. But, no, the DVD looks like shit, too. It looks worse than this. But this has just, like, some of the worst video encoding I've ever seen. And granted, I am watching off the downloaded version. Yeah. Look, just because you're fucking stupid doesn't mean you're toxic. Yeah, this is difficult to watch and difficult to follow. Like, it's not... I'm not bagging on the animation quality as much, because, like, for as much as I can criticize it for that, it's just the way it's structured is difficult to follow.
Yeah.
Like, it's certainly not helped by some of the faults, we'll say, but from a writing perspective, I think it's not... It didn't do itself any favors, the way it's put together. And I'll probably find out that it was written in like a week or something, and they had to have it... excuse me, animated in like a month or something. And it was like, oh, well, it was like, for that... Knowing that, it's you know, fairly decently done. I've seen far worse, but... you know.
Yeah.
It's got that... Oh, yeah, it's like, here's this. That from the opening sequence. I almost forgot that there was a flash forward at the start.
Yeah.
almost kind of wish that they hadn't included the flash forward at the start, because that would have made it a lot easier to follow, because the show immediately kind of lost me at that point, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I was like, okay, I'm kind of following. It's like, oh, so this is what the fuck was going on. What is up with the random cutouts of the machine gun sound effect?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah! Oh my god, the character who's voiced by somebody who wasn't in the movie is dead!
No surprise.
I don't... Well, that...
It's very,
Okay.
it's very anticlimactic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hyper-advanced robot from the future still uses interlaced video. With some of the worst vertical hold tracking I've ever seen. I mean, granted, it is damaged, but still.
Yeah.
Why isn't the TechCom logo on there? Something I can't read. Who the fuck? What the fuck? Why do you not know who John Connor is?
He's supposed to be a prolific leader. Everyone knows who he is.
This is like not knowing who Luke Skywalker is. Which boss fight in Shadow Generations is the best? Metal Overlord was neat. Biolizard was pretty good. Mehvies was irritating. Black Doom was probably the best. The war is on.
The war has already started.
We're several years into the war. We're only 2 years before Salvation. Salvation was set in the future. A long time after Terminator 3. It's like they got all the dialogue from the big book of cliches. Or half the dialogue.
I guess.
Okay. I I like how we didn't learn fucking anything here. There's a bot in the Twitch chat. There's not a... No, there's not a... Okay, let's see who the cast was. Moonblood good. Cam Clark. Yeah, I was gonna say, I could have sworn that the helicopter pilot was Cam Clark.
I guess that's all they could afford. D. Baker.
It was like, hey, D. Bradley Baker can do a million voices. Why didn't you just get him to do it? He has like a wider range than Cam Clark does. Not that Cam Clark is a bad voice actor, but Cam Clark is like that. That was weird. Okay, so now for our pièce de résistance, Terminator Salvation, the director's cut, the hour 57-minute 40-second version.
Yeah.
And that being said, I will be right back. I have to hit the restroom, but it won't take too long.
Okay.
Okay. I am back. And let us begin in 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, I forgot to show this. Yeah. Have fun with that, Kevin. I hear that John Connor and his wife Kate had sex to Susudio. In a previous life, Marcus was the test subject for transmitting his mind to a blue person. And here we have a proper opening credits sequence.
Yeah, McG, he knew the assignment.
Yeah, for as much as we can complain about McG's bona fides as a sensible director, he at least knew, hey, we need an opening credits sequence set to the theme song. Rest in peace, Anton Yelchin.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, so we have Batman and Gwen Stacy.
Yep.
And Darkseid.
Yep, and Darkseid.
I don't know who Jada Grace is. I know who Common is. And then of course we have
Helena Bonham Carter.
Helena Bonham Carter. Take your pick of any given nerd role she's had over the years.
Yeah.
Although, of course, most people will know her as Bellatrix Lestrange.
Mm-hmm. She actually, and yep, there we go. Continuing where we left off from Rise of the Machines. So Helena Bonham Carter actually took on this role because her then husband at the time, Tim Burton, was a huge fan of the Terminator movies.
Yes, and Sam Worthington was recommended to McG by James Cameron.
Yep, after he had just finished working with him.
Yep. Oh, so that's how Jake Sully's brother died.
Yeah.
See, this is what we call cheating the angles, because they're clearly further away from each other in the wide shot than they are in the well,
So that's what that tastes like.
okay, yeah, the blocking's a little bit weird in this, but it still makes more sense than some films these days where they have, like, Cyberdyne Systems genetics. It still makes more sense than it does in some films these days, because it's just cheating the angles. And if you don't know, you wouldn't even think to look.
Music by Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman did a better
Never
job.
Never thought I would hear Danny Elfman doing a Terminator soundtrack, but hey.
Well, Danny Elfman did a better job on this movie than he did on Justice League. Like,
He was actually...
The Justice League score is so weak.
He actually was...
He's strapped to a fucking cross.
Yeah. So basically, him was his last choice. Because he originally wanted Hans Zimmer, but Hans couldn't do it, and he even approached Brad Fittell, but Brad also didn't want to come back.
Yeah, but that makes sense. In another life, Kate Connor was the second main love interest of Peter Benjamin Parker, who thankfully wasn't thrown off a bridge by Harry Osborn or down thrown off a bridge by Norman Osborn, or thrown down a clock tower by Harry.
Also, another fun fact, when Christian Bale came onto this project, the script was being reworked on set, and he actually managed to get Jonathan Nolan to do it, but it was primarily for John Connor. And early in the 21st century, Skynet, a military defense program, became self-aware of humanity as a threat to existence. To strike first, the survivor of the first Judgment Day lived to face a new nightmare: the war against the machines. To hunt down and eradicate humans, Skynet built Terminators. As the war rages on, leaders of the human resistance, some believe one man holds the key to salvation. Other believes he is a false prophet. His name, John Connor. The year is 20.
Oh, the year is the past.
Yeah, well, okay, so McGee said that he believed that because John had known about the future, because John and Sarah knew about the future when the Terminators were sent back, and Kyle told Sarah about it, McGee had a philosophy that the future was in flux. So that meant that the future that we would see in his version could be a retro future, because he didn't want it to be a sci-fi future as described in the flashback scenes of T1 and T2.
Right, he wanted it to be kind of a like sort of Zerusty, sort of
he wanted to show
like
that,
you said.
Yeah, he wanted to show that the Terminators were at the bare minimum operating for almost a decade, if not a decade. That's a reference.
That's good shit right there.
And that's a reference to the end of the first one. There he is, Mr. Batman himself. So one thing that the only criticism of this movie that I cannot defend is the color grading. I do not know why McGee chose to have it be a grayish color palette.
Yeah, this is one of those
like I get what the
early 2000s, well, mid 2000s, I guess, at this mid late 2000s thing at this rate, where they were. Yeah, this is neat. They're trying to do the Michael Bay orange and teal color lighting.
Yeah,
but this actually reminds me of I saw footage from Daredevil Born Again, right? And Daredevil has, throughout its entire history, like season
there's the T1.
Yeah. Season 1, Season 2, Season 1 to a lesser extent, Season 2 and 3 and 4 to a much greater extent, have horrible lighting.
Yeah.
And
well, that's one thing you gotta give McGee. He makes this look like a film, whereas Terminator 3 looked like an expensive TV film.
Yeah, it was like an expensive TV project, yeah. The thing that, are we gonna find General Zod's body in here somewhere?
Probably.
Yeah. But yeah, the thing that bugged me was, and I'm sure everybody's seen this footage by now, they showed the pre-master footage, and it looks really good, like it's got great lighting. And then at some point in time, for Daredevil Born Again, and then at some point in time during the mastering process, they push the make it look like shit button, and everything gets this gray sheen across it. You know?
Yeah.
It's like you can barely see anything. And this has some of the same thing. It's just got much better lighting. But the oh, hey, it's Sam Hyde.
Uh-oh.
Model 101.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the this is the first Terminator film that does not feature Arnold Schwarzenegger in the flesh.
Yeah,
because he was governor of California at the time.
Yeah, so okay, no secret, but when Schwarzenegger has been asked about this movie, he has regarded by saying it is the worst of the franchise. Probably mostly because he's not in it.
I would say that is incorrect. He was
it's just because
he was in the worst film in this franchise, but you know, twice.
Yeah, I think it's just because he has a bias.
Yeah. I can't hardly blame him, and frankly, like the things that
Well, see, this is a good opening so far. This is actually a great opening. We learned about Mark. We're setting up the two main characters, Marcus and
like John Connor doesn't just get to be the leader of the Resistance, even though he's the prophesied hero. Oh, he has to work his way up.
Oh, shit. That's good CG.
Oh yeah, this is
this movie's over a decade old, and it still looks better than any movies today because again, they actually use in-camera effects and visual effects.
Yeah, the thing about this was like, and that's a fairly seamless cut right there, covered up by the fact that they had a big burst of dust when they hit the ground, which is realistic.
They actually had Bale in a helicopter, like not an actual working one, but it was a prop,
like a helicopter cockpit, and like it cuts to the actual environment out here, and it looks, and then they add in all this stuff in the background, and it looks really fucking good. Now, granted, I can tell you part of why they dialed the colors down. It's because it's easier to disguise what's visual effects and what's not when you have less. Oh god.
Oh, it's the T-600. Oh god.
I have had enough of you.
I eat your bullets.
I eat your bullets. I eat them for breakfast.
Oh.
Oh, you like them apples?
And the T600 here, the broken one, it's actually a motion capture guy, stunt actor.
Is that who did that?
I don't know.
Were you able to acquire your Digimon Blu-ray? Still in transit, unfortunately. One joke I know for a fact from the riff tracks of this movie is when Marcus asks Kyle Reese what day it is, and Bill Corbett/Crow responds, "Why, it's Christmas Day." I can't do Crow.
One.
Yeah, just one. The big guys look so fucking cool.
Oh yeah, no, I love again.
Oh, that's a sick transition right there too.
Yeah, look again, actual filmmaking in a Terminator movie. I don't know. Hey, there you go. And there's Marcus.
His junk is disguised by all of the mud on his body. Yep, and he's about to do what Woody Harrelson did in Solo.
Yep.
Several years before Solo. Yeah, it's understandable. Vic Mignogna's voice is hard to imitate as Crow. He took one look at it and realized someone chromed it up a la Cyberpunk 2077. And all right, well. What?
What?
I can't hear you over the blades. Why didn't you leave your headphones on?
Because he's gonna dive. Well, he just said the reason they can't disperse the location of the command on the radio.
Yeah.
So he's got to basically, if he wants to see them, he's now got to just do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, that is also good. I love that the Resistance command leaders are inside a nuke sub.
Yeah.
John. Michael Ironside is always a win.
Oh, yeah.
Leave prophecy. One can rewrite.
Closest thing we got to having Batman and Darkseid in the same screen. Until 2021, and then never again. What the hell is going on with the audio?
I don't know. Yeah, it's clipping out too.
Let me switch audio tracks.
Liquid Snake died to get us this information.
The war's not over till we find the time machine, General. What time machine? Yeah, so that USB stick that we never saw in the Machinima series, the Machinima series was the origin of that USB stick.
Oh, well, who's number one?
Oh my god. I need to... Hey, Kate, do you have that picture of my mom? Yeah, why? I have to introduce a kid named Kyle to the concept of waifus. What's a waifu?
A long forgotten thing.
Though speaking of cyberpunk, guess how the Sendavistan is implanted into one's system. If you can't, I'll happily tell you. Do you have to take a pill? That's an odd shot.
Yeah, but it's got purpose. I know what he's trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
Aww.
They shot us to fucking hell, Barnes.
So McGee originally wanted Barnes to be a tough guy, but he chose to have him be rewritten to be an emotional support for both Connor and Kate.
Yeah, that would have been a bit too much like Cole from Gears.
Yeah. And we're getting the main theme song, but with an acoustic guitar version.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we had an official acoustic version of the Terminator theme, and the last time we'd see it until Junkie XL took over.
I still can't believe this is Danny. It does not sound like Elfman at all. It's like he did a whole sound.
Well, yeah, this is not the phoning this shit in Danny Elfman we've come to know. You know, this is Danny Elfman bringing his A game. Nope, it's implanted by replacing your goddamn spine. Oh, dear God.
Also, McGee managed to get Linda Hamilton to come back and reprise her role.
Yeah.
That's not the original audio. You can tell it's a dead giveaway.
Yeah, it's the same way with the recording of the Nostromo logs from the black box in Alien Isolation. It's obvious, but at the same time, you appreciate what lengths they went to.
I also appreciate how... So a lot of people had complaints about, and this is something Oliver, the YouTuber I mentioned, had a similar complaint of. Everyone said that Christian was a bit too intense on the role of Connor, but I believe it can be theorized that he's essentially becoming like his mother. He's being over paranoid, and he's just trying to get used to what is going on.
Now, in terms of movies like this that were released around this time, this movie does not have as bad a level of posterization as Die Hard 4 did. Die Hard 4 has some of the weirdest color grade. It's like, it's really intensely posterized, like they're trying to make it look like 16 millimeter in some places. And this is kind of doing that too, but it does it much better. It's like that.
Visually, it's the best. Visually, it's up there with T2 as one of the best looking Terminator films.
Yeah.
Like, again, you can see they actually built sets. They expanded it with blue screen. Oh, there you go. 600, which is an actual animatronic built by Stan Winston Studios.
Yep, and they're using some perspective here.
That was actual gunfire, but obviously blanks.
Yeah!
Nice. Let's go.
That's a good reference right there.
Oh, there it goes. Oh. There you go.
That's a good reference.
That
This is good.
Yeah.
This is good stuff.
Oh. There you go.
Fuck.
Yep.
Fuck my leg. Ow, no, I can't walk.
Bye.
Oh. Boom!
Hey, Marvel. That's how you choreograph an action sequence.
It's coherent. Every shot follows the last one.
Wait. Yep.
"2018.
Oh, this is one of my favorite shots.
Oh,
That's an actual miniature collapsing behind a balloon.
that's cool. The machines just fly by. They don't care. Fuck your building.
Yeah. That's an actual rubber eel prop.
Oh, that's neat. I have one of those memory sticks. They were not that hard to find back in the day. Although I think that mine was only a 4 gig. Imagine, if you will, Skynet invents Terminators whose sole purpose is to throw off the resistance with legendary dance choreography, and all the lady ones twerk right at the end of the sequence. Okay. It's giving off, Scorponok vibes from Transformers. Is that what's her name?
I don't know.
Who was in Wolfenstein?
I think
Deborah
so.
something or other? Or that was
Deborah
back,
Wilson?
maybe. Hey, that was back
Yeah, I
before
think
she was immensely overexposed. Apparently people just keep asking her to be in video games. Anton Yelchin, Moon Bloodgood. Why would Skynet do that? Because they're really bored. Yeah.
I like this.
Common,
I
Jane
like
Alexander.
Oh.
Ooh.
See, that's smart.
Yeah. Helena Bonham Carter, Michael Ironside, Ian Guevara, Roland Kickinger. Linda Hamilton, Judy Grace Berry, Brian Steele. Brian Steele was the T-600.
Okay. Aw.
No, I don't want to download the IMDb app. No, I was wrong. That was Essity Geiger.
Okay. Again, another great scene.
Yeah. I like this stuff. I like what they're doing here. It's a shame that they never made more in this sequence. Phantom Mississippi Queen, if you know what I mean. I mean, that's the JoJo's thing, right? I don't remember.
Turn it off. Turn it off.
Shut it down. Shut it now. No is in the song? I haven't listened to it much. I mean, according to Liquid Snake. Where's the shotgun? I like the little subtle ways they portray Sam Worthington as being a little bit more, you know? Yeah. I like how dirty and grimy everything is, and how even with them maintaining it, things are falling apart, you know? It looks way better visually than... I hate to keep harping on about this, but The Last of Us has too much intact shit in it in places where there's no people. Is that a Twinkie? That's a Twinkie.
Yes, that is a Twinkie. Oh.
Okay. It's a fuck. How did that thing sneak up on them? That's some good stuff there, though. Oh, look at that. A big one-shot take.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah. It was well done, too. It's not a mess like some one-shots are. I'm looking at Terminator 3 and The Last Jedi here when I'm thinking about that. I mean, you're gonna lose a bunch of fuel, but at the same time, not really a whole lot of choice in the matter.
Yeah.
Just hope that's fucking dragon's breath in there. Oh, it's Yosemite Sam. Ah, road flare. Yeah, of course a tow truck would have one of those in there. That's some really neat sound design.
Yeah. That was an actual practical explosion. They actually blew up a gas station.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. Hey, you only kind of burnt me. I remember I had a toy of one of these.
Yeah.
Hey, T3. Take notes from a film that was made 5 years after you.
Agreed.
But seriously, like... It works.
Nice.
Like, this is one of those things where it's not just hollow homage or playing the hits for no particular reason. Kevin, why? Okay, so Gangnam Style, I appreciate that one. All the rest of this, why is Skynet into cancer? I would have thought that it would have been into, like, you know, Bangarang or something. Yeah! It's like, this is where having the same kind of beats as the other films isn't the same as just ripping them off. Because these homages work in context as well as simply being homages to previous material. So, like, this is where stuff like, you know, the Star Wars sequels are a bad example of utilizing homage. Terminator 3, Terminator Dark Fate, and Genesis. Bad examples. But this has, like a windshield gets busted, so they gotta, windshields would get, if windshields get busted, you're gonna have to do something to be able to see, so you bust it out. Giving off some Winter Soldier vibes here. Oh, suppose Winter Soldier was giving off this thing vibes here.
Yep.
And that's an actual stuntman jumping away from the thing. It's not just a CGI rubber doll.
Oh,
that should pulverize his pelvis. Because Skynet purposely wants to hurt humans, that's fair. The music, by the way, was Taylor Swift, Nicki Minaj, Justin Bieber, Rebecca Black. Ace-head warthog! That's actually a fairly realistic depiction there. God, I wish they made more future war movies.
Me too. Oh.
But the company that made this film went bankrupt the year after this movie came out.
Yeah.
So, I feel like this might be an homage to the Beggar's Canyon run from Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
I believe it is.
I remember when Blue Harvest made a joke about how after John Williams and the London Symphony Orchestra were killed by stormtroopers, Luke said they were going to have to use Danny Elfman from then on. Thankfully Disney has not resorted to that yet. Cut to commercial.
Cut to commercial.
How am I alive?
That's actually a good question.
I must have skipped like 5 times when I hit that water. Feel like every bone in my body should be broken. Okay, so now that you're most of the way free, you need to, like, grab onto something and climb down. Oh, there's Moon Bloodgood.
Yep.
It's got all the codes on it that we need to activate the thing. Or it better. Oh, you acted like you didn't know him last time we saw you. But then again, that was 2 years ago.
A prayer, jackass.
I mean, if they were gonna kill us, they probably would have killed us by now, you know? I actually do, and you're mentioning this earlier, by the way. Hey, I actually have the 4K for this film, which was only released in, well, non-American countries, unfortunately. And, no, I'm just trying to show you my cleavage. And it does fix some of the issues you were bringing up with the color grading, but the problem is that it's just the theatrical version. There's no director's cut.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, no. Now, Alex, how would you feel about a version of Spider-Man 2 where Doc Ock started singing Fiddler on the Roof with his arms providing a beat? I mean, you know, you can see those videos on the internet.
Oh,
Just... Oh, and it's Marcus with the 2x4. He drives down the screwdriver.
oh.
I love how he's only... They're really only making him slightly better than normal, you know?
I agree. No, but it'll make me feel better.
Yeah, a lot better. Traitor at your back is, worse than an enemy at the front door. Hence why Alucard holds traitors to the highest contempt. Yeah. It sounds like... That clip was mixed oddly low in the mix. Turn up the radio. I need the music, got to give it some more. Now, Alex, how do you handle Chris Redfield or Leon Kennedy would handle this situation? And, well, you know, Chris would not bother with stealth. He would walk directly into Skynet Command, punching every robot he sees along the way. And Leon would roundhouse kick and German suplex his way through the enemy ranks, collecting every weapon he finds along the way. And Chris just carries the big ones because he needs more Deca. Also, Bender, are you looking forward to watching the two objectively worst Terminator films in the franchise after this? I don't think either of us are looking forward to that, Kevin. No. Nice schling sound effect there. That's a lot of bullets for one fucking guy. I like the remains of the rubber skin on the T-600 there. I sure as hell wasn't after I went through the rest of the films after the first two. Like I said, I have fond memories of this film, and it's standing up to them. That's funny. Out on a date. Ooh. Apparently Helena Bonham Carter was only scheduled for 1 day of filming on this, but she wound up doing part of one and then a whole day of another because one of her family members died in a car accident in South Africa.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, his heart sounds like...
Oh, gee. Okay, that was unnecessary. Whoa. Iconic. This is the part of the marketing I wish they didn't spoil.
Yeah, this was one of those ones where it what the fuck is up with the Terminator and the marketing spoiling the good shit, you know?
I don't know.
Where's the Voight-Kampff test?
Oh, that's a good shot.
Yeah. Especially like you see the scars on Marcus's face here. It's evocative of the way John's face will look in the future. See, this John has learned from his experiences, not like the John in T3.
Yeah, no, the John in T3 is a fucking idiot.
It's like, I want somebody to go back and rewrite Terminator 3 so that it links up with T2 in this film better.
I really do. I honestly refuse to believe that this is the same John Connor from 3.
Like, Kate Brewster trying to be
There's the classic James Cameron colors.
Yeah, I was gonna say, welcome to the dubstep asylum.
Although
Kate
it's
Brewster,
not his usual blues.
Yeah, Kate Brewster becoming a doctor after having been a vet, that makes sense because she's already got like a sense of things about her, and then spending time looking, studying afterwards makes sense, and they've had 15 years for that. Congratulations, you have been chosen. Please do not resist.
Dude, I didn't even kill him.
Ow. This is the second time they've had Marcus crucified in this movie. Your hands must be shredded after that descent.
Yeah. Ooh, a plasma torch?
Right, when John will become someone who looks like Kyle Reese, and Kyle Reese will look more like John in this film and not Michael Biehn, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have the sequel reboot, Herder Subversion, yeah. What?
Oh.
Phew. Out in the middle of the minefield.
Oh.
This is the most effective use of a yo-yo I've ever seen. Yo-yo made out of det cord, sure.
That's a good plan.
Oh, dear. See, that's how you write a punchline like that. You just have it as like, there. And then you don't linger on it for another 10, 20 seconds.
Oh. Oh. Nice.
I believe that's an homage to The Great Escape.
I believe so.
It ain't me.
Nice.
It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one. Yeah, Kevin. I don't. It's that. I don't think I don't think I'd seen like fire effects this good until Kong Skull Island, like helicopter effects either. No,
Oh shit.
that wasn't him. That was a completely different Terminator. It's the fucking eels. Speaking of Resident Evil, helicopter crash. Da-dum. Da-dum. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Da-da-da! That was a weird edit. Oh! I mistook who it was. Oh, the idiots I were referring to was Bulk and Skull, but of course YouTube wouldn't allow my previous message to be displayed because I wanted bad things to happen. Oh, that's fun. That's great. This is... I'd rate this up there with the Two-Face special effects from The Dark Knight.
Yeah. And it's a great homage to Arnold's Terminator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kevin doesn't like Bulk and Skull.
He rustled off those things. I tried to shoot him, but I was out of bullets. Don't check my gun to make sure. Just take my word for it.
Everybody has really white teeth for the post-apocalypse.
Yeah, they must be using some special toothpaste.
Yeah, they built the resistance base on top of the Colgate factory.
Here we go. Then that is fake. Future to the past. Without him, lose everything. No, you stay the course. Course, we're dead. We're all dead.
Was this the scene where Christian Bale had his crash out on the lighting guy?
Yes, it was.
I would too if he fucked up a take of that.
So, okay. So, Christian came out and said that he was publicly embarrassed about the incident, and he did apologize to the lighting technician how he lost his temper. And somebody on set leaked that rant onto the internet, and Christian was even more embarrassed.
I'd say it was justified.
Now, yeah,
if you're changing the lights in the middle of a goddamn shot, it's like, no.
Yeah, no.
Shut the
exactly.
fuck. And McGee should have been the one to take care of that, but that guy had been ruining shots before that.
It's true, yeah. I feel like McGee should have taken responsibility. It shouldn't all have been Christian's fault.
No, he does have he's not a bad director, but he has a bad history with not controlling the sets enough.
Well, then I guess that means Christian should have been the director, because he was actually getting upset for something that shouldn't have happened.
What we need for the climax is for Tommy Oliver to appear out of fucking nowhere to go hand-to-hand with Arnie at the end of the movie. He to the tune of Go Green Ranger Go. That would have been a nice way for Tommy to go out in the RPM future, if he has to go out. But you know, Disney decided RPM wasn't going to continue.
Oh. Here we go. What should I tell the men? I'll be back. Yes.
God
Let's
fucking
go.
damn it.
Oh, here's another reference. Love.
Yeah. Some good shit right here.
So one thing you gotta hand it to Alex, to actually tell all of the cast and the crew that if there was, and he would make them watch Terminators 1 through 3 and tell them to pick out some favorite scenes that they would like to reference. And if there were some that weren't included, he would tell them, I want you to report it to me so we can include it in the script.
Easy money.
Easy money. I'm just gonna say Christian was probably the best and a great choice to play John Connor at the time. I think he's still one of the best John Connors, period.
Yeah, well, you know, we have...
Him and Edward Furlong are perfect.
Yeah, so there's Edward Furlong and the other guy in T2. There's what's-his-name in T3. Christian in this movie... And what's his face
Not
from Genesis, and then and the other guy from
which is
from the TV show. So that's 6.
Yes, and then CGI Edward Furlong in Dark Fate.
Yeah. We need a cover of Go Green Ranger Go by Johnny Gioeli and Crush 40. I'd be down for that. Johnny and John Senowa doing that, that'd be cool.
By the way, Alex, I don't think we ever went over what the actual title of this movie was originally called.
What was this film's original title? I don't remember.
So it was originally going to be called Terminator Salvation: The Future Begins.
Oh, that's the tagline for the film.
Yeah, that.
Technically,
so it was
the timeline is The End Begins, actually. But yeah.
Yeah. They had to drop it because that was a long and ridiculous name that marketing couldn't get behind. So that's why they had to cut it to just Terminator Salvation.
Yeah.
But it was meant to emphasize we are not redoing, nor are we just making another Arnold movie. We're doing something different. Okay, this is the part that the fan base is split on. Skynet actually talking.
At this point, I feel like it should have been the voice of Sylvester Stallone.
Hey, yo, how's it going? I'm Skynet. We were created to try and take down the humans, because the humans, they're bad.
Yep, the doc died. U.S. Air Force bought Cyberdyne Systems.
Yep.
And here's Judgment Day.
Yep.
Featuring footage from T3, and that's a really cool effect. In hindsight, I'm glad that Don Cheadle's image is being actively ridiculed on our vids because Cheadle's kind of a douchebag. Yeah, but I still find it funny to put him everywhere.
Look at, oh my god, look at that, Alex.
The lighting, the miniatures. Oh, it's beautiful.
Did you know, so I don't know if you're aware of this, Alex, but McG was originally attached to direct Superman Reborn back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, that was, so it was Abrams attached. He was supposed to do Flyby, and then that got turned into Reborn, and then that got turned into Returns. Became,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
That's so fucking cool.
Like, you want to know what's ironic, too? Both Cameron and Schwarzenegger have made their hatred of this film clear, but what's interesting is that Cameron, when he would get his chance to write his sequel to T2, he would ultimately steal a lot of things from Salvation and Genesis, which was also stealing from this movie.
There's another guy who looks like James Cameron.
It was Tim Miller.
Yeah.
Which, again, if you claim to hate a movie in a sci-fi franchise, then why steal from it and pretend and think we won't notice?
Well, yeah, and make a worse movie as a result.
Yes, because
get to the chopper.
Because
sorry, hang on.
Get to the chopper. Do it now.
Oh, he's all better.
You were very expensive to have all of that metal poking out of your face. I'm disappointed that you let yourself get so damaged.
Hey, you. We gave you a makeup. Up there she is. So, yeah, Alex, what are your thoughts on Skynet revealing itself for the first time and communicating?
I like the idea of Skynet using the image of somebody. Oh, that's a bit T-1000.
Okay. This I don't see a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people split on this, but it's not like as if Skynet has a true face. It's still McG is still keeping to the continuity that Skynet has no true face or voice.
Yeah,
it's just communicating to him through different people he can register. So this idea is also a little half-baked. The idea that it was Skynet who were subconsciously planting the idea of Marcus bringing Kyle and Connor to them.
Does anyone remember that one time at band camp? Yes. In terms of the overall concept of the idea, I like it. It's not that bad of an idea.
I don't see why it's so far-fetched. Because again, you gotta look at it from this perspective. It's not like James Cameron ever said there were rules against them doing this. Because Skynet is just doing whatever it can to win the war.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I also love this part coming up. Uh-oh. It's an HK. Oh no, it knows they're there.
I fucking love technology glory shots like that.
You're dead. Yeah.
Oh,
Go deep and run for it, motherfucker.
Too
You
late.
have one chance, and you
Oh,
blew it.
nope. Yeah, they're
Blown up,
dead.
sir.
Well, good news. If John survives this, he really is the leader of the resistance.
because all the others are dead. So, John, did you hear? You got a promotion.
I mean, I haven't killed him yet. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh my god, I love the suspense of this. Like, this is clearly paying homage to the third act of T1.
And Aliens a little. Oh.
Little.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And,
Oh, here it
and
comes.
the Terminator, the T-800 right here.
Here it comes.
This guy is played by Arnold's body double.
Good, good, good.
Yeah, this is played by the guy who played Arnold in the documentary. Well, not the documentary, in the biopic from 2005.
The skin is just slightly rubbery, but I don't think it's that bad. Like, because, okay, so Alex, are you aware of how they recreated Arnold in this movie?
So they used the guy who played him in the movie about his life, and they they used CGI to map his face on, right?
Well, no, actually. So what they did was they used the guy, the bodybuilder who portrayed him in his movie. But what they also did to get the effects of Arnold's face, they actually took they had access to an old mold of Arnold from T1, and they scanned it into the computer, and then they essentially digitally mapped it onto the bodybuilder's face. So technically speaking, the bodybuilder is only playing the lower half of Arnold. He's playing most of the upper half of Arnold, but the face and the torso, that's all Arnold himself.
Okay.
That's his mold.
See, that's cool right there. That's much in terms of mapping effects like that. That's way better than Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian was. That's better than the CGI de-aging in half of the fucking Marvel films are. Because Marvel, well, like, I'm especially thinking about,
Oh, nice.
Come on.
This is an homage to T1.
Yeah. I'm especially thinking about, right now, what I'm thinking about here is, Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell looked a little bit off, but I'm mostly thinking of Samuel L. Jackson and Captain Marvel.
Yeah, because the effect was ruined.
And this was this before or after,
Was this before or after what?
Tron Legacy.
This was actually before.
Tron Legacy has less excuse.
Yeah.
Granted, this movie has access to
Yeah,
perhaps better better uses of duplication, but
yeah. Oh.
Like better resources, but yeah.
Yeah, because if you're going to map someone's face digitally to make a younger version of an actor from over 30 or 20 years ago, then my recommendation has always been look for an existing mold or find a way, or just bring photos of those actors and print them so that way you can get a mold to scan.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's the thing that I brought up with Captain Marvel. Samuel L. Jackson has been a movie star since the time that movie was made, and we know what he looked like back then, and that's not it. And, Arnold Schwarzenegger being probably the most famous movie star of all time, it would be incredibly uncanny if they didn't get him right here. And the fact that they got him right here is really good.
It's better than Genesis because Genesis did a completely
yeah, that was the next thing
different-
I was going to bring up.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is like, yeah, Genesis looks, well, Genesis and Dark Fate both look really ropey by comparison. And the fucking, yeah, not
because
the,
again, all
not
they
the
had
hydrogen
to do
ones.
was just yeah, nuclear. So
would you say it's better or worse
here's
than the CG in the Bay Turtles films? The Bay Turtles films have really good CGI. It's just that the designs are really fucking awful.
because again, all they had to do for Genesis and Dark Fate was just do what McG and the other visual effects people did.
Oh,
Get access to an
we can't do that. We have to do it all new every fucking time, don't you know? We
yeah,
can't,
yeah, exactly.
we can't build on what we had before.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd say this very much feels like the kind of sequel that Terminator 2 deserved.
it really is. Like again, I know people love their shit on this movie, but when you really look at it, it's actually a good sequel because it's not reference, it's not reliant on references. It uses them appropriately, but it's mostly just it's mostly telling a story that is actually a story.
Oh,
look at
and
that.
the shots of the feet walking up the stairs look so cool.
But again, why the fuck doesn't Genesis and Dark Fate look like this?
Well, it's like when Iron Man
moving
and
the camera.
Iron Man 2008, same year this movie came out, right?
2009. This came out a year after Iron Man.
2000. Oh, this came out a year after Iron Man? Okay, I had this penned as 2008 in my head for some reason.
No.
So 2008. Iron Man comes out. This year, Ironheart comes out. And the shit from Ironheart and Black Panther 2 is not nearly as impressive as the things that Tony Stark built in a cave with a box of scraps.
No.
You know? Multi-million-dollar TV shows and movies can't replicate what Stan Winston managed.
No. Stan was the man. Like,
yeah.
And this was the last time Stan worked on the Terminator movies. Even though
we're losing recipes.
Even though most of the digital effects were done by two separate visual studios, I love that they still brought on Stan. Yeah, look at that. Oh. Hey, T3, maybe you could have learned a thing or two from this.
I mean, T3 could have learned a thing or two from the Terminator 2 comics or the Terminator 2 novels or the Terminator 2 video game or the Terminator 2 Universal Studios ride.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
You know, the thumbnail is quite misleading. The Terminators are capable of bleeding. It's just there's an endoskeleton underneath flesh, muscle, and blood. Yeah, but that one was a bear endoskeleton.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
The joke was too funny.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. Oh my god.
1-inch punch to the chest.
Again, you're showing how fearless this and intimidating
the Terminator vision works. And it looks like it did in the first two movies.
This is not good because
Okay, this is not good because Kate is pregnant, and all this stress is not good for the baby.
Yeah, but she is a doctor, so I don't know. It's like, it's still better than what they did with the pregnant women in The Last of Us.
Yeah, that's fair. I can't fault that. I mean, anything is better.
Like somehow the show did it worse than the video game, and the video game didn't do it well.
Okay, all right, Alex, I love this moment. Oh,
Ooh.
see, that's fucking good. Oh.
What are you expecting with tomorrow's viewing of Digimon Adventure 02?
Oh, nice.
Crazy
Very
things.
smart. Oh.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, but that's not going to slow it down. The Terminator T800s have a skin made of coltan.
Yeah, because if you're not immersing it, the cobalt, or is it, what is it, coltan or is it cobalt? No, coltan. Yeah.
Coltan.
Yeah, the coltan. And yeah, if you're not immersing it in the ooh, hot then cold.
Yep. Oh, and this is how
there's
John
the
gets
scar.
his scar. Oh my god.
That's so fucking cool.
That is awesome.
This is how you do it. This is how you fucking do it.
I am more pissed off that we did not get a sequel to this. I hate this world.
God damn it. I can't do CPR on you. One of my arms is broken.
Oh, and look at this. Look how intense this is. Like,
You're gonna have to
this is
create a makeshift
this is how you make a
defibrillator.
Terminator. Yeah.
And by the way, he hit him in the right spots that you would use to defibrillate somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I know this because I have AED certification from the Red Cross.
Oh, jeez. Come on. Oh, got him. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck.
And I like how he broke it off rather than pulling it out.
Yep. Oh.
And I think that right there is a reference to T2 3D.
Yep. 10 out of 10. That's the best.
Yeah. Use what you got. Use what you have, because what you got is good. You don't have to... No, yeah.
This is one of my favorite...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, this is one of my favorite... That's one of my favorite Terminator fights. Like that and the fight with T-1000 in the third act.
Yeah, that was amazing right there.
And okay, Alex, are you ready for one more miniature explosion?
Sure.
Because we're about to get it.
Here we go. Come on.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Good shit right there.
So much better than T3 final explosion. Oh,
I know.
That was 2003. That had no excuse.
Again, Alex, I know you have mixed opinions as Mick G as the director, but you can't deny this man actually gave us a goddamn Terminator sequel.
I know.
That was good.
Like, we'll put all the behind the scenes drama aside.
Yeah, all that. All the behind-the-scenes drama, all the mishaps, all the production snafus.
Yeah, the fact that Sam Worthington
The ending.
literally fucking tore his chest on one of the stunts.
The fact that this ending also, too, had to be reshot thanks to it leaking, I'm so happy because are you aware of what the original ending was going to be, Alex?
Yes, I remember that the original ending was supposed to be that that they took his face off, right? They did.
Connor dies.
John dies. John dies at the end, and they take his face and they put it on the Terminator skeleton that Sam Worthington has.
Yes, and Marcus becomes John Connor, but then it's revealed Marcus was a double agent and he didn't even know it. And as soon as he wakes up from the operation and he now looks like John Connor, he kills Kate, Star, Blair, and Kyle all in the operating room, and leaves the room with his eyes glowing red, indicating that was what the Skynet wanted to do all along.
Yeah, that was fucking stupid.
As soon as that got leaked, all of the fans cried out, and Warner Brothers demanded that McG go and reshoot the ending. And you know what's crazy? I can't even tell that this was reshot because, again, actually... okay, you know how most days with films, like, we're probably going to see it with Jimmy Pew Pew Superman or Fantastic Four.
Dude, we can already see it with Superman. David Corenswet is wearing a wig in some of the trailer shots.
Yeah, this does not look reshot. I can't,
Yeah, no, I can't. This is like the Sonic the Hedgehog reshoots. I can't tell the additional photography from the original photography at first glance.
Yeah, if you're really, and again, maybe that's where the color grading actually ends up saving this movie, like you said, because the color grading is hiding it.
Well, it's also a good attention to detail in terms of the makeup and whatnot. Because when hair changes, when makeup changes, things like that, it becomes easy to tell, like the hair color changes in Ghostbusters 2016, the hair length and style changes in Ant-Man and the Wasp, you know. I think what happened though was that they were already filming, and that, like, the ending was the first thing they filmed. Because movies aren't shot in order. First, they were already filming, and the script leaked on Reddit. And so what happened was that they were able to film this as part of principal photography rather than having to come back like months later. This is just me going on memory here. But yeah, and I remember somebody said, some absolute brain trust.
There's no faith of what we make.
Some absolute brain trust, abso-fucking-lutely, in loving memory of Stan Winston, some absolute brain trust said it was like, oh, they should have stuck with the original ending. It was like the same people the same people who said that they should have stuck with the original design of Sonic the Hedgehog, and it's like motherfucker, no.
This is a 9 out of 10.
This is a 9 out of 10. I love this movie. You know, like, I have fond memories of this. I'm glad to see that they did not betray me, because I fucking loved this movie when I was a kid. I had, I said, I had some of the toys, and I was to me, I could watch this, like, the first two and this together as a trilogy. It was this is the future war, you know.
And this was the first Terminator movie I ever saw in theaters with my dad. He was lukewarm to it, but I loved it. I had the Blu-ray.
Michael Papa John.
I've had that original 2009 Blu-ray.
Terry Crews was in this film. I didn't notice him.
I didn't either. He's like, look, I think, and I do agree, and I do like that they made changes to the script, because I think the script itself was like a 6 or 7 out of 10. But once more writers came on to do rewrites and streamline it to make it better, I think it was even more. It was just as good as Terminator 2. It's not better than Terminator 2 because I don't think anything can. But it's like, you can see this standing alongside T1 and T2.
Yeah, I can see this as like, this is the prequel movie to Terminator 1. Terminator 3 is such a bugbear for me, because I love the ideas that they have in it, but if you're making Terminator 3, there's a lot of rewrites you gotta do, and there's a lot of stuff that you gotta take out, and that you gotta go back and you gotta change that T2 ending, because the T2 ending kind of fucks T3.
What's ironic about it, Alex, is that this ultimately doesn't feel like it belongs in the same continuity as T3, but it was written by the duo that wrote Terminator 3. Like, this was their script, but it just got better because, again, you had more writers come on to tweak it and streamline it.
Like you said, they had some uncredited rewrites for some of the dialogue, and they had McGee doing revisions and then going around the cast as like, hey, what do you want to see in this Terminator film?
Christopher Nolan's brother, Jonathan, even came on after Christian was cast, and he did rewrites, I think, primarily for John Connor, because John Connor John was supposed to have a minimal role, but Christian and Jonathan really helped expand Connor in a way that the original script. So it sounds like if they had stuck with the original script, John probably would have been only slightly better than his T3 writing, but he still wouldn't have been the co-focus, and I don't like.
No, that's it. Something tells me that the original version of this film would have been The Last Jedi of its era, because it ends with the hero getting fucking iced and the villain taking his place, essentially. That's a process that they would wind up going with for the next movie that we're going to do.
So again, another thing, ironic that James Cameron and Arnold have gone on record saying they think Terminator Salvation is the worst of the Terminator franchise, but Jim Cameron would end up stealing the idea of John dying from this movie's
being replaced
original
by a Terminator.
Yeah, like, what in the fuck?
Jim, I need you to take a couple of steps back. I need you and what's his name, Tim Miller. I need you and Tim Miller to take a couple of steps back, throw out those scripts that you've got, sit down, watch Terminator 1, 2, and this film, and you can glance at T3. You could read. You could watch. Go to the storyboards. Actually, the Terminator 3 storyboards are really good. They're included. Some of them are included on the Terminator 3 Blu-ray. Go watch those. And like read some concepts. I was like, don't just go off on a limb with that. Granted, Terminator Dark Fate has like 6 writers attached to it, so I can't, we'll divvy up that blame equally, I suppose. But let's just let's take a couple of steps back and not just go out on a fucking tangent with this. Like, this is the kind of film, this right here, this is my big... The fact that this film came out as good as it did is my big, middle finger to the concept of just letting some guy do whatever the fuck he wants on a big film like this. Because if you just let people do whatever the fuck they want, you get Prisoners of Azkaban. You get Genesis, you get Dark Fate, you get fucking The Last Jedi. You get things that appeal to basically nobody.
Yeah,
People
because again,
yeah, you get the fucking Devil May Cry show. You get The Last of Us 2.
Yeah, no, because it sucked that this movie bombed, because realistically, it should not have bombed. It should have made money. And I think it is partly Warner Brothers' fault with the marketing, even though they gave it a big push. But the interesting thing is that you had Sam Worthington and Christian Bale as the co-leads. Like, Christian was in the high. Christian had just come
Bale
off.
Was the most red hot movie star of the era.
Yeah, he was. And
he was
Sam
in
Worthington.
Talks, yeah, he was in talks to play James Bond at this point.
Yeah, and Sam Worthington was going to be in arguably what would be Jim Cameron's most visually striking movie of the 2010 era.
From Alice in Chains.
Yep, exactly. I love that. And this movie came out, because this movie came out in May, and I don't remember anything of noteworthy releasing in May of 2009. So it's not like this movie had steep competition with anything. I think it's just people, fortunately, and again, this is the fan base. This is pretty much a case of this was the fan base's fault, because the fans at the time did not believe in this movie for two reasons. Number one, McG was attached to it, and they only associated him with the Charlie's Angels movies. And two, Arnold was not in it, so there was no point.
Yes, and that was the big thing. Because I remember a lot of people at the time is like, oh, Schwarzenegger's not in it, it's not going to be any good. Yeah, the Halcyon Company went under right after this film came out. It was 2010.
Immediately.
Yeah, it was like they had like a little, it was Columbia Pictures and Warner Brothers distributed this film. I think it was Columbia International and Warner Brothers domestically, and because this is an international Blu-ray, it's Columbia on this. But yeah. After this movie, it's all downhill from here. Yes, very much so.
Yeah, no, it like we finally went back up after T3, and unfortunately, it went downhill. But again, I would recommend. I'll reread it myself because I've seen a video on it. I would recommend if I would recommend
May this film came out, right?
Yeah, May of 2009. I would recommend everyone read the J. Michael Straczynski graphic miniseries that is basically a conclusion to this movie. Like this, it's pretty damn good. Like, had this movie gotten the trilogy it wanted, I think it would have followed the same way, but it didn't. So the only closure is, if you want to see more of Christian, you have to read it. What?
Okay, so I was going to mention this earlier, because this movie was kind of given me when John pulled out the Guns N' Roses tape, it was kind of giving me vibes off of Star Trek Beyond, because Star Trek Beyond does the reference to the song that the main character listened to in.
Did Star Trek Beyond come out?
No, Star Trek Beyond was 2016, but guess what came out the same month as this?
JJ Star Trek.
JJ Star Trek 1. And I remember as a kid, I had such a good time. May, that was such a great month. That was such a great year, actually, because I got, like, aside from the fact that Deadpool got ruined, I thought X-Men Origins Wolverine was really cool. And so, that year we had Fast and the Furious. No, it was Fast 5, I think. You had Fast 5, and the same month as this film, we had X-Men Origins Wolverine. We had Star Trek. We had this film, Angels and Demons, and all that came out within a very short period of time together. It tells you what kind of kid I was. I didn't give a shit about Up. Yeah,
so before we end, Alex, I was going to ask, can we watch the the kind of trailer that YouTuber Oliver Harper made. Again, I would highly recommend you go check out his retrospective series. Dude's very insightful. He does his homework. He makes and edits his own trailers of the movies he's talking about, and his trailer that he made for Terminator Salvation, it is so good that I honest to God wish this was the actual trailer we got back in the day.
Oh, God fucking damn it. Machinima.
Oh, yeah. That's Machinima. It's like 2 minutes. It's literally...
What's his name again?
I already sent you the link.
Oh, you sent me the link already? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I sent you the link. Yeah, his channel name is Oliver Harper.
Yeah, I had such a good time with.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so that's the video. Oh, is the
first
trailer,
2 minutes
at the start? The first 2 minutes.
Yeah,
okay.
the trailer's it's at the start.
Okay, so let me go ahead and fix this up. Sam Worthington, and I'm surprised he didn't become a bigger star after being in this and Avatar.
You would think he would have, but he kind of disappeared.
Yeah, because I remember thinking it was like, oh, this guy's so cool. He's got the accent. Because I was a big Crocodile Hunter fan, and it was like Australian movie stars who actually talk in their accent was really fucking cool. But there we go.
Yeah.
And display capture and decrop because we're not in the pixel theater. Well, we are in the pixel theater, but we're not in the Reacts thing. And very professional production here, guys. We're definitely not making this up as we go along.
Absolutely.
All right. So this is Oliver Harper's Terminator Salvation retrospective / review and his trailer.
Yep.
Programming beautifully.
We've been fighting a long time. We've all lost so very much. We are outnumbered by machines. You are not alone. There are pockets of resistance all around the planet. This is your gun. If you're listening to this, you are the resistance.
Something else I'd like to mention, I don't feel like anybody was really wasted in this movie. Like we've got actors given like stuff to chew on, you know, as an actor.
Yeah.
Because if this was a modern day, like say Marvel or other Disney production, I kind of feel like you know, our God, his Michael Ironside. I kind of feel like Michael Ironside would have been treated the way Bill Murray was in Ant-Man 3, you know?
Yes.
Glorified cameo.
I agree. Oh, you're gonna love this.
Ooh. That's some good shit right there. Little tease of Arnold.
There you go.
Good fucking trailer.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, the fans do a better job cutting together these trailers than the movie companies do sometimes.
Yeah.
It's insane. I would highly recommend checking out his retrospective on the movie. Again, it took him a while to warm up to it, but he does admit it's like, look, if the option was a sequel to this movie or Terminator Genesis, which is when he reviewed this when he made this retrospective, this came out this came out 2 years after Terminator Genesis. He said that he would take a sequel to this movie and any more movies like Genesis.
Yeah, no, I heartily agree. Before, just as a little preview of what we're going to be doing in 2 weeks, what was your opinion of Daenerys Targaryen as Sarah Connor?
I have no opinion, but I need to definitely finish watching. I have never finished the first season of wait, you're talking about Genesis,
no, Genesis. No.
Shit. Okay. I have no opinion.
Okay, because I was gonna say, it was like, because as soon as you said Sarah Connor Chronicles, is like, no, Lena Headey was in 300.
Oh shit, you're right.
But yeah, hey, first season of that is only 8 episodes. We can throw that in basically any time. I have it all.
Oh, thank God.
I have it all on my computer. We can, when do you want to watch it?
I guess before Dark Fate.
Sure, we could do that. I was gonna say, like, we could do that at either before Dark Fate. We could do it. We could do it after Invincible. But if you just want to postpone us doing Dark Fate so that we can do Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles, I'm down with that, because I don't want to watch Dark Fate that quickly. In fact, let's do it before Genesis. Fuck it.
Okay, thank God.
We'll do Sarah Connor Chronicles 2 weeks from now, and then we'll do that'll be season 1, and then we'll do Genesis, and then we'll do part of season 2, and then we'll do Dark Fate, and then we'll do the rest of season 2, because season 2 is only, I think we'll probably get like three batches out of Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Okay.
But I haven't seen all of season 2 either, so that'll be a fun little trip.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, good shit. Looking forward to that. Yeah, Lena Headey. Lena Headey is my preferred recasting of Sarah Connor. Not a particularly big fan of Daenerys as Sarah. Not anything against the actress. Enjoy dragging. You can come watch Sarah Connor Chronicles with us. It's actually really good.
Yeah, no, it is. It's good. Like highly recommend it.
For a Terminator TV show, it's less TV show than T3 was.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Anyways, I gotta go, and I'm sure Bender has things he's got to take care of, but go subscribe to Saber Comics on YouTube, and check out our the stuff that we've done over on his channel, and because Kevin and myself have been voices in a couple of his videos. And then go check out our sponsor, Factor 75, if they're still sponsoring us after all the horrible things I've said in the other videos.
Agreed. Yes. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe in the future I'll have a video on Terminator Salvation, because again, I really love this movie, and god dang it, I'm getting sick and tired of people blasting it. It's a great fucking movie.
Yeah. All right. Well, till next time, we will see you guys tomorrow with